back to Big Movie Mouth Off, the podcast where three Salt Lake City-based critics hold court about film. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
This is episode 31. We're in a little bit of a dead zone, boys.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot to talk about in the theaters at the moment. So we decided to do a special Guilty Pleasures only episode.
Give the people what they want.
Exactly.
I know it's what I wanted, so.
It's most people's favorite part of the program. We've got 4 topics. They are, in order, biopics, bad movies by good directors. Then we'll take a break and come back into nature run amok and time travel. Those are our 4 topics. As a matter of fact, I didn't contribute anything. You guys came up with all 4 of the topics.
Ours.
Typically, I come up with the Guilty Pleasures topics, but I'm always happy to entertain ideas. And this time I just threw it to you guys, and you came up with these 4 amazing topics.
And technically speaking, we're giving you a break this week because there's no horror-themed topics.
That's true.
It doesn't mean one or both of you didn't choose horror-themed movies.
And it doesn't mean that these movies won't be horrifying.
Yeah.
I think that's a guarantee. Let's dive in. The first of the Guilty Pleasures topics will be biopics. We're going to start with Brooks.
Well, most people probably will have no idea that this thing exists. It was from 1994 and was released on Showtime. Apparently, we were the trendy family and had HBO and Showtime.
Fancy.
Did you also have Skinamax?
No.
That took a lot of trust from your parents, and that wasn't going to happen.
Oh, HBO took a lot of trust.
Good point.
But that's what the VCR was for. So it's from 1994, and it is National Lampoon's Attack of the 5'2" Women.
How is this
I've
a
never
biopic?
heard of this.
Because it's Julie Brown, and it covers Tonya Harding and Lorena Bobbitt.
Really?
I have never heard of this.
And I own it on VHS. It's got animated sequences. It's Julie Brown, so it's a musical. There's a bunch of musical numbers.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, I'll send you some clips.
Is it telling their stories, or is it
it's Tonya Harding and Lenora. Well, they call her Lenora Babbitt and Tonya Hardley because, spoof. So
it's a spoof
Tonya
biopic,
Hardley.
and they didn't want to get sued by either one of these ladies. So
exactly. And you get to see Lorena Bobbitt or Lenora Babbitt throw the treasure away. So that's always fun.
Sounds terrible. Am I right?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's a spoof movie. So
Didn't her husband in real life reattach the treasure and become a popular adult star?
I think so.
I think
I heard something.
That does sound right.
Someone will do a biopic about that, I'm sure, if they haven't already.
I want there to be a biopic about the treasure itself.
And it's
journeys.
It's journey.
So Tonya Harding didn't do her own attacking. Jeff Gillooly did that famously. So why is she getting credited as an attacker?
No, not the attacker. It's just about her.
I thought it was called The Attack of the 5'2" Women.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're attacking a 5'2" women.
They ordered the attack.
That's a fair point.
Well, Julie Brown plays both.
All right, I will go next on biopics, and I'm going to go back a little bit further than you. And this movie is also a little bit of a stretch as a biopic, but it's definitely a film that is supposedly telling the story of Genghis Khan.
Oh.
And I'm going all the way back to 1956, a movie called The Conqueror.
I've heard of that, yeah. I think I've seen it.
Starring John Wayne as Genghis Khan. This movie was yes.
What?
It was directed by Dick Powell, who did The Hunters. It stars John Wayne. It stars Susan Hayward. The score is by Victor Young. It's got a lot of those 1950s things going for it. The only reason this is on my list and the only reason I care about it is because my dad loved John Wayne and we watched this movie together. As I was watching the trailer yesterday, I was not reminded, but convinced now that it is truly one of the most terrible things that's ever happened on film. John Wayne as Genghis Khan, not only is that racist to cast him in that role.
This is where we throw up it's racist gift.
Also, his performance is god-awful.
I mean, it's John Wayne. How couldn't it be?
It is a spectacle, like movies of that time period are. It's got that sort of Ben-Hur vibe to it with lots of really huge set pieces. But here's the really interesting thing about this film that is pertinent to us and this podcast. Apparently, people who were involved in this project reported illness later in their lives because it was filmed in Utah in the downwind section.
Oh.
Oh wow, Mike, that's what got my grandma.
And if you look at the trailer, guys, you can tell it's Utah. So whether or not the downwinder part of the story is true, it is a god-awful movie. But it makes me think of my dad, who I lost in 2019. So
Well,
I very fondly look back on this film. It is a guilty pleasure because it's awful. But the pleasure part's easy because I remember watching it as a kid with my pops.
not knowing any better.
If you're a fan of John Wayne, I wouldn't think that this was one of your favorite films of his. And if you're trying to break into John Wayne fandom, I wouldn't suggest starting here.
No, no, go with The Searchers or something like that. So,
Exactly. Go with True Grit. I mean, one of the classics. This is not one of them. So, yeah, The Conqueror, 1956. John Wayne as, you guessed it, Genghis Khan. Adam, what's your biopic guilty pleasure?
so I kind of feel like, a lot of times we bring to light movies people probably haven't seen. And I think this one is definitely one of those. I'm looking at 2009's I Love You, Philip Morris.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That was a good movie, actually.
Yeah. So again, it's a
Yeah.
good movie, but no one I think has
Yeah,
seen
You're
it.
right. It got
Underrated.
it got no
Yeah.
response. Yeah.
So it's a biopic in the sense that Catch Me If You Can is a biopic because it's really much there's truth there. I'm sure there's some embellishments, but basically you have Ewan McGregor and Jim Carrey of all people end up meeting in prison. Jim Carrey is a con artist, ends up there because he gets caught finally. He was the family man, like he had a wife, kids, secretly gay the whole time, hooking up with guys. Well, he goes to jail, meets Philip Morris, who's Ewan McGregor, and they fall in love. And no matter what happens, Jim Carrey's character is convinced he has to be with him at all times. So he'll do anything. He fakes dying of AIDS. He stole some insulin so he could have a diabetic shock. Like he did all these crazy things continually to be with Philip Morris, but he also can't stop doing all the crime stuff. And so, at the end of it, he does something stupid, ends up in jail again. And I think he's still there, actually. I think he's very, very old and living there. But it was interesting because it was letting Jim Carrey kind of be part of his over the top self, like he's always known for doing, but he did get restrained a bit. So it wasn't just like, oh, it's Ace Ventura on here being gay and in love with Ewan McGregor. It was a good performance, actually. But he also got a chance to kind of spread his wings and do stuff. And, Ewan
His
McGregor,
wings.
his wings, yeah. A little bit different for him because he was kind of more of the soft-spoken, quiet. He had like that southern drawl type thing. I won't go into it here. I'll tell you guys off air, but there is a scene on a boat. We'll say a love scene, and the end of that scene was cut out because they were going to get an NC-17 rating.
Oh wow.
For a really silly thing. It's kind of like the sound of the hammer in
Oh.
Hellraiser. That
Right.
there was like one sound that was
Or
made.
the sound effect in The Conjuring that
Yeah.
got them the R rating.
Exactly. So, but again, it's got the gays and the boy kissing and stuff, and there's definitely some chaste sex scenes for the most part. But again, I think it's just one no one saw, and I remember the moment I rented it. I think Blockbuster was still around back then. I immediately showed like 5 people, and no one seemed to like it as much as I did. But I think it's a hidden gem that more people should experience, and I'm sure it's streaming everywhere nowadays.
It's from the directors of Crazy Stupid Love and the writers of Cats and Dogs,
No
Oh.
kidding.
but also Bad Santa.
Okay, so some good, some bad.
I know.
I think that's a good way to describe Carrie's attempts at serious roles too. Some good, some
Yeah.
bad. This wasn't a fully serious role, as you say, Adam. He kind of walked the line a little bit.
Yeah.
But I thought this one was one of his better non-comedic, non-solely comedic turns, actually.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, Eternal Sunshine, he's
Oh my
always going
God.
to be known for, and that's a
And should be.
masterpiece.
And should
Yeah.
be. That's one of the
And
greatest
should be.
movies
But
of
he
its
tried.
time.
I mean, was it number 23 he did, where he was trying to like find out
yeah.
that the patterns in 23, and then
Like a horror movie with Jim Carrey.
yeah,
Right.
and there's times when he works, and I mean, honestly, I like him in Sonic the Hedgehog. I think
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
fun because
he's a
he's just
fantastic
having a
Robotnik.
blast. Exactly. But this was just nice because it was straddling the line of his two acting chops, and I think this is the kind of drama that he should stay in.
All right, let's go through them again. Brooks, what was your biopic guilty pleasure?
1994 Showtime classic Attack of the 5'2" Women.
Mine was 1956's The Conqueror. And Adam?
2009's I Love You, Philip Morris.
All right, next up on our guilty pleasure extravaganza, bad films by good directors. This is a surprisingly rich category that goes back literally to the beginnings of Hollywood. Adam, I'm really dying to see what you came up with. You're first.
Okay, so I'm kind of following the trend of last time because this is a movie I think we all love, but it's a movie that everyone else hates, even
Oh.
diehard fans.
Okay.
and that would be 2020's Tenet.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. That
Yes.
movie's brilliant.
I
Yes.
totally agree with you that
I
everybody
don't
hates it.
care.
And I totally agree with you that they're all wrong,
It's because
Yes.
the movie is smarter than they are.
for sure.
And they won't admit it.
No, and I've got a friend who, like, I think almost he loves Chris Nolan more than we do, and he absolutely despises that movie. And
Then
he,
he doesn't.
well, it's the thing was is that I think everyone was expecting something different. So for those who don't know, this is the movie where, for whatever reason, things are moving backwards in time. Like they pick up the gun, and then the bullet fires back into the gun. And I guess we almost could have, I could have done this for a time travel movie too, because it kind of is moving around time.
You could
Yeah.
have.
But it is so masterfully shot. The way they do some of those backward time scenes, mixed with the frontward time stuff, it's absolutely amazing. The way the story plays off itself, where you see something happen at one moment and then you see it an hour later from the other point of view. It blew my mind. I've never seen something like that. It was akin to watching Doctor Strange for the first time, where he
Yeah.
goes into the mirror universe and you're like, oh my God, I've never seen this before. And yeah, I can't find anything wrong with it. I think I was actually at home quarantined from COVID because I was exposed to it back in the day when that was a thing. And so I binge watched a bunch of movies, and I couldn't get why people didn't like it. I went out and I bought like the art book for it.
Yeah.
I've bought it probably twice, one on Blu-ray, one on 4K, and maybe a third time on digital because I had to watch it again because HBO streaming for me is the base one, so I don't get good graphics out of it. But
Uh,
I just feel people who don't like this is because they don't want to take the time to invest to learn about this world building and kind of bend their minds around what's happening.
I think
Um,
this movie, Adam, also suffers a little bit from its time because it's definitely a COVID era movie. It was the
Yes.
movie that was supposed to bring people back to theaters, right? And I actually saw it in a theater, in a
Lucky.
socially distanced theater. And I feel bad for anybody who saw it at home, honestly, because I
Mm.
think certainly some of the big battle scenes that are in the third act work better on the big screen. That being said, I have since seen it again on the small screen, and it totally works there too. I just wonder if all these haters, if they'd had the opportunity to see it on a real theater screen, might have felt differently about it. And I also want to say, this friend of yours, Adam, who loves Nolan apparently, but doesn't love this, I hope you're listening because go pick up your stuff from Adam's house. It's not working anymore. It's over.
This person will probably never listen to
You're
this.
not friends
No, but
anymore.
yeah, so I've only ever seen it, that being said, I have a 65-inch TV and I was sitting at the edge of my bed, which is like 4 feet away. So I
That's
did kind of
essentially
get,
a theater.
yeah, that
Yeah.
experience. I would
Same
love
with
to
me.
see it if it ever comes back out in theaters. I think IMAX would be absolutely fantastic for those.
It's
And
what
the
it was
set
shot
pieces are
for.
great. There's nothing wrong with it. A little bit of an ambiguous ending, but that's kind of how Nolan likes to do his stuff. I mean, look at Inception. But I think it's a film that people just kind of wrote off because it wasn't what they thought it was based on whatever idea they saw in the trailer and put in their heads. But I'll put it up there as a literally fantastic movie that I can watch over and over again and get something new out of it like each time.
Remember John David Washington. We'll return to him momentarily. But before that, Brooks, what is your bad movie by a good director, guilty pleasure?
So originally, as we were going to call it, great directors, is because I was sitting in my office and I ran across the Blu-ray for it, and I was like, "Oh, this would be so fun." So of course, it's Steven Spielberg, and it's 1979's 1941, his biggest disaster ever.
Until the Fablemans, but please continue.
I like the Fablemans. We'll
So
come
did
back
I.
to that.
No.
Aside from the color issues at the screening, but that's
1941 is a great choice. Remind people what that movie's about.
It's California in hysterics because the Japanese are going to be invading because it's right after Pearl Harbor and hilarity ensues whether audiences liked it or not.
They
And
didn't,
it's got like, no, they
No.
didn't. But it's got like one of the most stacked casts ever. And it was written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale and John Milius. What
It's
went
al-
wrong?
It's also got a
Everything.
really fun John Williams score with a march that people
Yes.
play in concerts all the time. The march from 1941 has had a lot better and more successful life than the film itself.
It opens with Backlinny doing the Jaws thing. She's running by the picket fence. She strips her clothes off. She goes in the water. The Jaws theme starts, and up comes a submarine, and she's stuck on it naked. It's the best
this-
Jaws spoof ever, and it's Spielberg doing it himself.
This is just further proof that Robert Zemeckis isn't bulletproof because we also had his lovely movie Here a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And we all love that so much.
That could have been on one of our lists, except that we didn't like it. It's not a
Yeah.
pleasure. I totally am going to stand by my Fablemans comment. I think that is Spielberg's worst movie, but I do agree that 1941 bombed, and it's a great,
Oh, yeah.
great choice. My director isn't quite as accomplished as Steven Spielberg. I'm going to cheat a little bit here because I was originally going to talk about Jupiter Ascending by the Wachowskis.
Oh,
I would have beef with you on that one because that movie's a piece of trash.
It is a
thank
terrible
you.
piece of trash. It is the
Yes.
ultimate guilty pleasure because I liked it more than I should have. It is awful. I get it. It's Eddie Redmayne's worst performance in the history of his career. It would have sufficed in this category, but I didn't
True.
go there. I'm going to go instead with a movie that you guys will probably agree was okay, but that for whatever reason people didn't respond to. And I'm talking about the director, David O. Russell, who we know from Silver Linings
Oh.
Playbook. We know from
Well,
American
now I know
Hustle,
I loved
Three
it.
Kings. And I'm talking about Amsterdam from 2 years ago,
Oh,
2022. This
I
was the
haven't
movie
even
with
seen
Christian
it.
Bale, Margot Robbie. It had John David Washington in it, and it wasn't popular for some reason. It's a 1930s period piece where these three friends they basically discover a murder, they're then framed for it, and they have to unravel it. And Christian Bale plays this wacky, brilliant guy with a fake eye, and it's got a really strong cast. It's typical David O. Russell. But for whatever reason, it didn't resonate with people, and I don't really understand why. I think the same could probably be said for American Hustle. It could definitely be
Yeah.
said for Three Kings. Silver
Oh,
Linings Playbook was awesome, and he got a lot of great credibility for that. But those other movies, even he did The Fighter, even,
yep.
and for whatever reason, that didn't work either. I don't know what it is about this guy. Maybe you guys can help me.
I love his movies. This is the only one I think I haven't seen, and it's probably because of when it came out.
Did you see it, Adam?
I have not actually, but I will remember when Three Kings came out. I worked at Blockbuster,
Oh,
and
Three
that
Kings is a
movie
masterpiece.
It
we couldn't keep
is.
it in stock. Like it was, and this was back in the VHS days. I
That
think we had a
movie is
special
so fun.
section of DVDs. Actually, I need to go watch it again now that you've
Yep, I
reminded
have it
me it
downstairs.
exists. So
People don't talk about Three Kings. People have totally forgotten that American Hustle ever existed. People still do talk about Silver Linings Playbook because it's that good. And I think Amsterdam is the most forgotten of all of them, and it's the most recent. I don't understand it. I love this film. I want people listening to go check it out. The cast is obviously off the charts. He never skimps on cast,
No.
ever. He gets A-listers for everything he does. And I think he's got a great style, a great voice, a great sense of tone and pacing. I love this guy's movies. I can't wait to see what he does next. All right. Adam, yours was?
Tenet by Christopher Nolan.
Brooks?
Steven Spielberg's masterful 1941.
And I went with David O. Russell's Amsterdam. We're going to take a little break while Adam stops being mad at me for the Jupiter Ascending mention.
Shame.
And we're going to come
Shame.
back. We're going to come back and do Nature Run Amok. Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off, the Guilty Pleasures special episode. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
We're on to our third topic. This one came from Brooks. This is Nature Run Amok.
Amok, 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 amok.
I'm going to go first, and I guarantee this will not be stolen. I'm talking about 1977, The White Buffalo. Have you
I've
ever-
seen it. Yes.
Okay,
Nope.
so it stars Charles Bronson.
Oh, man.
He plays an aging Wild Bill Hickok. Will Sampson plays Crazy Horse. And the two of them join forces to take down a rampaging, insane albino buffalo that is killing people throughout the American West.
You'd think I would have seen this.
The setup, if it doesn't sound ridiculous enough, features an animatronic
Are we sure
Like-
this isn't a prequel to The Ghost in the Darkness?
like a steakhouse rodeo bull style animatronic buffalo that is absolutely terrible. Bronson's acting is off the charts bad. The story makes absolutely no sense. It's so dumb. But again, this is another thing I watched with my dad when I was a kid. So I look back on it now very fondly, but not with a lot of pride. The White Buffalo, Charles Bronson. Will
It's on
Sampson.
Tubi. I am going to have to watch this.
I challenge you to watch it, and I want you to enjoy this horrible animatronic buffalo with fake smoke coming out of its nostrils. It is
Hello, treadmill. Gonna be like
But it-
watching In a Violent Nature on the treadmill.
It runs through native villages. There's a scene where Bronson is squaring off with it at the edge of a meadow. They're like staring each other down. It's so full of horrible imagery and terrible acting. It reminds me of being a kid. I was obsessed with this movie. I just love it. All right, Adam, what is your Nature Run Amok guilty pleasure?
So this also reminds me of a movie I used to watch with my parents. back then we had like the ants come to life and the spiders and the bees. And this is a movie my parents would not watch, however, because they would in no way, shape, or form ever want to see 2010's Piranha 3D.
It's one of the greatest nature movies ever.
Yeah, so basically it's what it sounds like. Piranhas get out there and start eating people.
This is
The
the
one
second
thing
time we've
though,
talked about this.
yes,
It is.
but you have to love the opening with Richard Dreyfuss as the first guy who gets eaten, which is a huge throwback to Jaws.
He's dressed as Matt Hooper singing a song that the
Yep.
beer is called Amity Beer.
Yeah, and it's one of the few because like 3D's always been kind of a gimmick, but there's certain movies where like it's a gimmick, but it works so well. I mean, this is one of them. You got Ving Rhames' part where he's fighting them off with like the propeller of like an engine on a boat. There's a wonderful scene where someone who is very proud of his treasure loses his treasure and the fish eats it right in front of your face.
We got two treasures in this episode.
We got two treasures.
Do we
and
have a
speaking of-
theme?
Possibly, yeah.
We
treasures.
might when I get to my guilty pleasure.
I do love we get Elizabeth Shue back. We get to see
Yes.
her. She hadn't been doing things for a while. Introduced Steve R. McQueen, who people know from the Vampire Diaries. He got very big over there. Jerry O'Connell's back, and Sliders, gotta love Jerry O'Connell. He's always been fun. Just so many cool little people. Eli Roth is there for no good reason. There's no point for this movie to exist. It's stupid. It's silly. It's wet t-shirt contests and girls swimming around.
They had buckets of blood they needed to dispose of, okay?
It was pretty much. It was like we need to find a way to get rid of all this blood, and Evil Dead Rise hadn't been made yet.
True.
So there's nothing good here.
No, what's
Really is
funny?
nothing. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's full of blood. It's gory. There's nudity. There's treasures.
My favorite part is the kill that I love the most isn't even from the fish.
Oh, is it when the hair gets stuck in the
Yeah,
propeller?
she gets her hair stuck in the propeller and he turns it on and it rips her face off.
So we did end up with some horror, I guess, in this.
I guess we did.
Oh yeah, we did.
So if you want just a stupid good time, and honestly, these days, unless you're at Brooks's house, you probably won't be able to watch it in 3D. It's still just as fun. I think I saw it
just
on
watched
Netflix
it in 3D.
Yeah, it's still a ton of fun. You're just gonna laugh. It's like the stupid deaths from the monkey, but not quite as bloody even as the monkey. But
No.
yeah,
Which is
it just
weird.
reminded me of watching the old school Piranha movies with my parents, and then being like, "Ew, I don't want to go in the river." It was for what people did with Jaws in the ocean. It was like me in rivers and streams was Piranha. No redeeming qualities, but so much fun.
When you mentioned that rich cast, it reminded me that I forgot to say that one of the people in the White Buffalo was the late great Slim Pickens, who has
Oh yeah,
Oh,
one
wow.
of the most catastrophically inappropriate lines in movie history during Blazing Saddles. I won't say what it is, but
Oh.
I will never forget it. And I always love seeing Slim Pickens in anything he does. Okay, Brooks, you're last up on your category, Nature Run Amok. What's your guilty pleasure?
Well, I guess we're kind of maybe sticking with horror, if you can call it that. And it's another attack movie. It's 1978's Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
That's a great movie.
I know. I do have some runners up, which were going to be Thanksgiving or Birdemic. But this one I popped up at the last minute. I think I texted you both and I was like, never mind, I'm changing because
Yeah, you
this
did.
movie is brilliant.
Mhm.
It's a spoof movie that I don't think people know it's a spoof movie because I think get so caught up on the title and the premise of just tomatoes bouncing around, rolling around, killing people.
Mhm.
I mean, there's one lady who dies from drinking tomato juice, and it's a musical as well. Two attack movies that are both musicals.
You really
and
are ticking
comedies.
all the boxes, Brooks. Okay, what was yours again, Brooks?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Mine was 1977's The White Buffalo. And Adam?
2010's Piranha 3D.
All right. Last topic on this, frankly, really fun Guilty Pleasures show is time travel movies. I can't believe we haven't already tackled this topic given
I know.
everything that we've reviewed, but we haven't yet. So we're talking now about movies that include time travel that are terrible, but we love them. Brooks, you get to go first.
Probably good, although I don't think anyone would steal this because it's 2003's Michael Crichton masterpiece Timeline. Come on, you got Paul Walker as Billy Connolly's kid, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and you got Gerard Butler as a knight and Jerry Goldsmith's score, directed by Richard Donner. I mean, come on.
I didn't think that I had seen that until you reminded me about Gerard Butler's part. I totally remember that.
This is one of the best books I've ever read and one of the worst adaptations
Yes.
I've ever seen.
Crichton's movies often get
Yes.
beat up a little bit. Remind me what the time travel conceit is in this?
So this is the book. So Michael Crichton books are always about some big scientific thing. So
Right.
Jurassic Park is really chaos theory. This book is about quantum physics.
Hmm.
So the thing is that they lose someone in an alternate dimension, and so they basically travel through like the multiverse. And so they technically travel back in time, just in a different universe.
That's similar to mine. We'll come to it momentarily, but
Because Paul Walker has to find his dad.
rest in peace, Paul Walker. All right, Adam, what is your time travel guilty pleasure?
So again, this is one that maybe people, I think it's beloved, but I will stand by the fact that it's not a great movie, and that is 1999's Austin Powers: The Spy Who Shagged Me.
God.
So again, another one I worked at Blockbuster when it came out, and I remember very distinctly because we sold little mini stuffed Mr. Bigglesworth, and when you squeezed it, he
Oh.
just said, "We do not gnaw on our kitties." But Austin Power, I love James Bond 007, and I think this just absolutely just it's paying homage while also still poking fun at it.
Hmm.
And there's so much fun here. Like at the beginning when Elizabeth Hurley just becomes a fembot and dies. There's so many fun little things, and it introduced
Elizabeth
so many.
Hurley. Wow, that's a
Yeah,
name.
Hmm.
introduced Heather Graham. We haven't seen her in a while, but that's where we got Fat Bastard. We got Mini Me, and it's worth watching if only for when they go back in time and we have Rob Lowe doing his Robert Wagner impersonation
Oh, yeah.
as number two. Like
Oh.
he just nails it so perfectly, and it's just fun.
Was this the introduction of Fat Bastard?
Yes,
It
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
yes, because he went in and basically so he stole. In the past, he stole Austin Powers' mojo. So now Austin Powers loses it and loses all of his sexual prowess and has to go back in time to get it back.
This was the famous movie with I got a crap on deck that could choke a donkey.
Yes, get
That
in
one.
my belly, baby. The other white meat.
It's a vicious cycle.
I don't know. It's just silly, and then it has the whole thing at the end with going on Jerry Springer and finding out that I'm your mother kind of thing, and it's over the top, but it's one of the ones when I used to have cable. If I was flipping through channels, if it was on, I don't care if there was going to be 5 hours commercials. I had to stop and watch it because it's just that entertaining.
I wonder if those movies hold up on the appropriateness scale. We've got a
Oh,
different
definitely
scale now, and I
And
think
they
those-
didn't then.
they would be a little bit more cringe than they used to be these days, I think. But I'm disappointed in myself for what I'm about to bring to the table because I think
Ooh, that makes me
this-
excited.
for this to be the last film of the show is really pretty disappointing, but I can't deny that I loved it. I can't deny that it was an important part of growing up for me. The time travel film that is the guiltiest pleasure for me was actually a sequel. And I'm, of course, talking about 1991's Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time.
God.
Okay, you're off the show.
No, man.
It's a good
The
thing it's your
Beastmaster.
show, dude.
It wasn't called Beastmaster. It was called The Beastmaster, the first one.
Exactly.
Starred Mark Singer as a muscly guy who could control animals, and he's got his companions, the two ferrets that do the stealing for him.
Yep.
He's got his tiger, and he's got his hawk or eagle or something. They're his
Mhm.
companions.
Hmm.
So in Beastmaster 2, he's in this conflict with his brother, and his brother wants to, of course, rule the land, the distant land on this whatever planet at this distant time. And they find a dimensional portal that takes them to 1990s Los Angeles. And the brother goes there to try to get
Oh,
an
man.
atomic weapon that he can bring back to his world and use it to conquer everyone. Of course, the Beastmaster follows him, as do the beasts, and there's back and forth through the portal. He gets to LA and it's a whole stranger in a strange land thing. The cultures colliding. It's really terrible. The fight choreography is god awful. The special effects are just amateur hour. It is really, really dumb, but I remembered the first one from my teenage years. So I was really excited to continue on the Beastmaster journey. And though it's terrible, I'm still all in. I'm a Mark Singer guy until the end. Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time. Adam, you're looking at me like you want me to not be your friend anymore.
No, I love the first one. I think I might have seen the second one in my 20s. So I
Yeah.
didn't have that appeal to me when it came out, and by that time I'd seen the first one so long ago that I'd lost interest.
Well, there
I
was
just think it's funny. It's written by Jim Wynorski.
Yeah,
Man.
and I think there was like a 9-year gap between them or something. So you can definitely tell that Singer's a little older. And the effects and the sort of just the way film looked in the 90s was
It's
different than the
different.
early 80s. So it seems like it's from a different time. Yeah, the ultimate guilty pleasure, time travel movies. There is honestly no shortage of bad ones.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that when Jimmy and I did this show together, anytime time travel was on a film, it was something he wanted to talk about a lot because anyone who knows Jimmy knows that his favorite movie of all time, bar none, was Back to the Future. So
Yes.
Part two.
mine was Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time. Adam
1999's Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
and Brooks.
1978's Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Before we sign off, I want all of us to go through all four of our movies one more time. Brooks, biopic was what?
Attack of the 5'2" Women.
And bad movies by good director?
1941.
I thought that was the year of the film. Nature Run Amok
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
and time travel.
Timeline.
Adam, what were your four?
Biopics was I Love You, Philip Morris. Bad movies by good directors was Tenet, which is actually a good movie.
Yep.
Nature Run Amok, Piranha 3D, and time travel, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Mine were biopic The Conqueror, 1956. And if you already forgot, it's John Wayne playing Genghis Khan. Yes, I did say that out loud. Bad movie by good director was Amsterdam, 2022, David O. Russell. Nature Run Amok was The White Buffalo, the Charles Bronson flick from 1977.
I'm very excited.
You should be. And my time travel movie, maybe you're less excited about this, was Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time, 1991, about 10 years too late. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I love this. This was
Oh,
really
yeah.
fun.
It was fun, yeah.
There were no steals, which means
No.
we had the perfect categories. We will continue to do guilty pleasures as the show rolls on, and the next episode we'll get back to normal with a couple of reviews and some coming attractions. But I have to say, this is an idea we will probably return to because I had a blast.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was a ton of fun. And
All
I
right.
can't believe no one stole. Like I was
Yeah,
waiting,
none.
Brooks, for you to Piranha 3D. Like I was waiting so fast for you to say
There's
that.
too
but-
many. You know all the bad movies I watch.
I know.
I mean, I had runners up. It was like, how do I narrow this down?
I half expected Brooks to say Piranha 3D in all four categories somehow. But, well, we'll be back with a normal show in a couple of weeks. Until then, I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Thank you for being with us. Big Movie Mouth Off was produced and edited by me, Jeff Counts, and co-hosted by Adam McDonald and Brooks Bird. Our theme music is written by Brian Z. Richards, and this show is dedicated to the memory of our founders, Jeff Michael Weiss, and my partner in crime for over 5 years, the incomparable Jimmy Martin.